Alrighty guys, good morning. It is 8:24. Meteorologist Whitney Huddleston here. Want to do a weather update. So looking out over Temple, we've been dry here all morning with the exception of some very light showers and activity. And a little uptick on the radar, especially for our northern counties. Have been following some rain and thunderstorm activity headed towards our direction. This camera sort of points off towards the northwest, and you can see it looks dark and dreary. And ominous looking, the trees starting to move a little bit, winds kicking up at times. So it was, when I was here all morning, we were sitting in the 80s. We've dropped about 15 degrees here in the past hour and a half or so since we have been off air. So 68 here in Temple with rain cooled air in the atmosphere. Let's get straight to it and show you what is going on out there. Flash flood warnings galore from Dallas all the way down to Waco and pointing essentially east of there. So the eastern portions of our viewing area. Now, if you're west of I-35, besides maybe getting clipped Highway 36 near Crawford to the east of Gatesville, right now Jonesboro, if you're west of that line, you are not receiving the rainfall and won't. Okay, you're just mostly cloudy skies, kind of looks off dark towards your east. The rest of us getting drenched in some locations, and I'll show you particularly Waco, McLennan County now included. None of this is severe, okay? This is not severe weather. This is good old-fashioned thunderstorms. Primary precautions, I would definitely not recommend being outdoors because of all the lightning. That's my first concern, and my second being ongoing flash flooding is possible. It's going to be isolated in nature, but the ground is still a bit saturated in some locations. So McLennan County is now under a flash flood warning, and many counties to the east of there as well. But so much lightning embedded with this non-severe activity. Now you can see it's already cleared Hill County. Hill County still under a flash flood warning, but it's now not raining at all at your location. So moving at a pretty good clip. If you are in Moody, if you're in Troy, if you're in Temple, you're going to get clipped by this. It doesn't stretch much further to the west or further to the north. So I would say it's maybe going to rain for 30, 45 minutes, but in that time frame could drop an inch or two of rain. So again, ongoing flash flooding is going to be an issue. Now, if you're east of the interstate, that is where it has been raining for quite some time, particularly our far northeastern counties. Freestone County included in that. It was raining there in the 5 o'clock hour, and it is now 8:30. So anticipating for some ongoing standing water and running water on their roadways up towards Corsicana, Fairfield, Mejia, Groesbeck, Thornton, Buffalo, Centerville, even stretching down towards College Station, Madisonville. So again, I-45 corridor versus I-35, you're going to have more running water. They simply have caught the brunt of it early this morning. So if you're just tuning in, these storms are moving at a pretty good rate from north to south and will be out of here by lunch. The chance goes way down once this initial line moves on through, okay? So just some ongoing flash flooding. I'm going to turn off the lightning indicator and talk about a couple of these warnings here. You can see where the heavier bouts of rainfall are if I do this. Moving through Waco, but already if you're in Waco, it's starting to calm down. Likely the rain is sort of tapering off here over the next few minutes or so. But again, you may have received an inch or two plus. And if you did, likely there is a water on your driveway, on curbs. Some streets may have standing running water on them, waterways, low water crossings, things of that nature. You just want to use caution because some of us still have an already saturated ground, especially east of the interstate, where some of our far eastern counties have gotten this the past 2 mornings. This is the first morning that it ended up clipping our central counties as well. So you can see this line it's extending basically from east of Gatesville near Flat, south of Crawford, the Waco Metro pointing off towards Lorena, as well as Troy. You're up next, probably in the next half hour, Marlin. Again, if you just tuned into this live stream, I'm just giving you an update on where this is headed here in the coming hours. Probably 2-3 hours from now, this looks much different. Most of us will be dry by then, and it is moving towards Bryan College Station primarily by then, and in the Austin Metro too. But you can see Groesbeck, Thornton included. The flash flood warnings, including McLennan County and basically all the counties pointing east and northeast of there, is valid until mid-morning. So they're thinking all of this water falls in a very short clip and time frame, and then it's out of here, but we may have some lingering flash flooding ongoing, pretty isolated in nature, but just possible over the next 2 hours, and that's when that warning will be allowed to expire. Quickly, I'll go back to radar here in a second again for if you're just tuning in, but I want to talk about the rest of today. Your hour-by-hour planner essentially is going to show these storms clearing by lunch from north to south. And then it's going to be partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to have some breaks in the clouds, especially west of the interstate where they're not seeing the rainfall early this morning. The further that complex gets from you, the more likelihood you do see pops of sunshine here and there. But if you're on a patio for dinner, something like that, you're not going to get washed out, rained out, anything like that. By then, we are definitely dry. So likely by lunch, it has cleared our viewing area. Temperature wise, so this is interesting. This is not accounting for the rain that's moving through for the most part. So it may take a little longer to rebound, but likely we end up around a high of 90 on average, depending on where you're at. Again, our western counties may be significantly higher into this afternoon. You could see we roll into tomorrow and we are really drying out. No chance for rain, and we're going to be well up into the 90s. It's going to be hot and humid conditions once again. Now I'm going to fast forward, okay? We're going to go back to radar. If you're just tuning in, again, this is non-severe weather. No severe weather this morning, but we do have some flash flood warnings because some locations, these lines move through very quickly and drop 2-3 inches of rain. Dallas-Fort Worth, I will say, if you're traveling there, maybe you're catching a flight there, you know someone who is, they've had quite a few delays because they had 3+ inches in some locations, including right there by both airports, the big airports in Dallas-Fort Worth. So they've had a lot of flash flooding early this morning, but brief heavy downpours, it's going to move through at a pretty good clip. Now, for instance, if you're in Franklin, Ridge, Centerville, Madisonville, Bryan College Station, it may be ongoing here over the next few hours. If you're in West, it's already moved through. It's not coming back. You're done. If you're in Waco, it just moved through. It's starting to calm down now. It's not coming back, but you might still have some water out on the roadways, I-35 included. Now, if you're in Temple, we've had some light bouts of rainfall off and on, but the real brunt of it is not here yet, but will be here in about 30-45 minutes or so. So impacting Moody now, it's probably getting super dark in Moody and Troy, flat included, Highway 36 from Temple to Gatesville. You are barely going to get clipped by this thing. So it is going to get loud. You're going to hear the thunder. You're going to see the lightning. Wouldn't recommend being outdoors, of course, because there is a ton of embedded lightning with this activity, but essentially it's all along and east of I-35. Turning off the lightning indicator, again, turning on the flash flood warnings, which essentially is Hill and McLennan counties until 10:30 a.m. So now plus 2 hours would be the window for isolated flash flooding, but all the counties east of there, because it's been raining along Highway 45, the northeastern portions of our viewing area, Fairfield especially, for about 3 hours now. So it's been off and on, but brief heavy downpours at times, and likely, I wouldn't be surprised if Fairfield, Freestone County likely has 3 inches of rain now. Between about 5 a.m. is when it started this morning and right now. So you can see a pretty thick line, basically from Flat to Moody to Lorena, pointing east. And that line is moving at a pretty good pace right now. I would say that's probably moving at 30+ miles an hour, but right along the highway I-35 corridor. So if you're in Salado Belton, you are not going to catch the brunt of this. Most of it, likely Temple is going to get clipped. And when I say clipped, I mean it's going to impact Temple and northern Bell County, but not for very long. The majority of it is going to be to your east, okay? It is now clearing the Waco Metro, moving out. And again, Bremond, Franklin, Calvert, it's going to be on and off, on and off, on and off, probably over the next 2 hours or so. But you can see the northern edge of this line, where it essentially is already ending, is our northern counties now. Hill County, you're done. It has moved through. It is not coming back. If you're at Lake Whitney Meridian, you got clipped by it. It moved through. It's not coming back. But again, I would say over the next 2 hours or so until these flash flood warnings are allowed to expire, just be careful if you're headed out. And the rest of today, I'm going to end this live stream for now. I'm going to pull radar back up so you could check at any time. We'll keep this stream pulled up on our website. You can always check what's going on with the weather. We also have a blog, just so you know that we update twice a day at least. On days like today, I've already updated it 3 times, basically telling you current conditions, what to expect the rest of today, and your 7-day forecast. So you can look extended wise. What's it going to be doing tomorrow? For example, I know it's going to be like 95 again tomorrow. So I'm constantly looking at that. And then we have someone else that comes in midday, and again, we redo it in the evening too. So you definitely want to be on our app. We not only have this live stream, but if you click on weather, we have all sorts of resources there. And we do videos throughout the day on a day like today where we do have an active radar. Even though it's not severe weather, there's hydroplaning, there's potentially some running water out there. So we want you to be careful and use caution if you are headed out. Now this afternoon, rest of today, after lunch, this is done. We may see some pops of sun, and then we're in the lower 90s, which will be nice. I'm going to leave this on radar and we will switch off. But I will be on Facebook in the comments as well here over the next few hours and just monitoring this. It is non-severe once again. Just please use caution if you are headed out. Really anywhere across the viewing area, I-35 pointing east has received at least something at this point. Some folks seeing some isolated ongoing flash flooding that should end by about 10:30 or so.